How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. Kraken warns users Bitcoin trading data is headed to the IRS. Crypto exchange Kraken is set to share data on tens of thousands of its users with the IRS in compliance with a June court order, the company announced. The company specifically will share information regarding cryptocurrency transactions above $20,000 made by Kraken customers between 2016 and 2020. US-based users who made such transactions will have their account history sent to the IRS along with their name, date of birth, tax ID, address, and contact information. Gemini sues Genesis for control of $1.6 billion in Grayscale Bitcoin Trust shares. Gemini wants to regain control of the shares to pay back their own clients of their Earn program. Gemini and Genesis have been at war since last year because Genesis once served as the primary lending partner to the New York exchange for the Gemini Earn product. But following the collapse of FTX, Genesis suspended withdrawals and Earn customers were left wondering what would happen to their cash, so Gemini customers got the raw end of the deal. Today, the collateral is worth nearly $1.6 billion, an amount that would completely secure and satisfy the claims of every single Earn user, the Friday filing read. Over on the Dixie, we are heading down very slightly. We are respecting this pattern, so we could call it confirmed. Our stochastic is starting to roll away, RSI is starting to roll away, our VWAP is starting to head out. I would watch for a red candle. If we get a stronger red candle here, we could see further sell-off or a bounce to this bottom. Over on our total, we are coming to the bottom of our golden pocket. Again, if you're not familiar with these golden pockets, see our Fibonacci video in our playlist. Our stochastic is starting to head down, RSI is starting to head down, our momentum has a double red dot, that VWAP is pushing down, and the money flow is starting to curl away, so I would keep a close eye on it. Over on Bitcoin futures, we are going somewhat flat after taking a little bit of a dip yesterday. Our stochastic is making bearish divergence, our momentum is pushing forward, our RSI is starting to slip, that VWAP is getting slightly lower lows with lower highs, so we could set up a bearish trend here, and the money flow is kind of going flat, but it's still in the bullish territory. So if that VWAP rebounds into the bullish territory while this MFI money flow is still in the bullish territory, we could see continual price action up. Over on Bitcoin futures, we are coming down to fill the first gap that we pointed out yesterday. Stochastic is heading down, our momentum has a double red dot, and our momentum is starting to come down as our VWAP is falling into the bearish territory. Our money flow is starting to reject away from that neutral, so I would watch. If we get a lower low or consistent low, we could stay within this bearish territory, and this big spike up could just be negated. Over on Bitcoin, we are starting to roll over here as well, very similar to the futures, so again, that's why futures price tends to lead Bitcoin price and why we cover them, because they are closely correlated. Our stochastic is starting to inch its way out. We do have a bearish cross, our RSI is heading down, our momentum is rolling away with a double red dot as our VWAP has crossed into that bearish territory. The money flow is starting to roll away, so I would keep a close eye on it. Real quick, if you haven't already, smash that like, hit the subscribe, and join us in the Discord. We'd like to see more of you there. We did break this pattern earlier, but we retested and we have reclaimed this pattern. So it is still in play. RSI is starting to slip, our momentum is in the bearish territory, our money flow is staying kind of flat, and our VWAP's pretty flat. Our VWAP is favoring the bearish territory, so we do still have potential to break down if that doesn't change. If you're wondering how you didn't hear about that call out, that was in the Discord, so that's another reason to join the Discord. Aside from that, we have these 99 plus alerts from this week that would have told you different things on the market. RSI is overall slipping here on the 2 hour. Our price action is, you see that dip, we did come back in, and we are trying to kind of come back down. If we come back down and make a bounce off this support, around that 33.67, then we could see continual price action up. However, if we come back down and break, we could see continual price action to the bearish side. This could be a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder, a very long, elongated right shoulder that could end up playing out. It didn't really bring us down too far. It really didn't have too much to bring us down, so it could have played out alright and we could be rebounding from it. That VWAP is starting to head up. The momentum does have a double green dot that wants to curl forward. Stochastic wants to push forward. Our RSI is slipping. If our stochastic keeps setting lower highs while price tries to make consistent price action, we could see bearish divergence form, and that could help bring us down in the long run. Over on the 1 hour, we are starting to go flat here after getting a little bit of a spike up, so we could have a small bull flag trying to push us forward. That would try to retest this 34.2 area. Stochastic is starting to round away. RSI is heading down. Our VWAP is starting to roll away. Our money flow is bouncing off that neutral, so that is good. We are maintaining bullish momentum, but I would just keep an eye on the VWAP. If the VWAP falls flat and it starts to favor the bearish side with the money flow very close to this neutral, we could see the money flow break bearish and a bearish trend start to resume. Momentum is starting to roll away as our VWAP is starting to show signs of weakening, so I would keep a close eye on the 1 hour. If we break this zone, then we could see continual bearish action. I would look for a break of this red EMA, then we could possibly move to these other EMAs or our support zone. Over on graph for the daily, we are starting to fall. We have a bit of a reversal arrow, so that could signal a bounce back up, as the reverse of a downtrend would be a push to the downside, but it could be indecisive as well. See, last time we got this, after trying to push forward and then dropping a little, we did continue down for some time, so we could have something like that play out. Stochastic is starting to roll away. RSI is starting to head down. We have a bearish cross on that stochastic, weakening that RSI. The momentum is rolling away as our VWAP starts to head toward that neutral, which is also weakening that money flow, and our money flow wants to round out. If the VWAP breaks bearish and the momentum gets a significant push to the downside, we could see the money flow break bearish and pull us under. But if this money flow maintains this bullish momentum, we can continue forward. We got a pump and then some side step. Right here we got a little bit of a pump. We went sideways, then we pumped, went sideways. So that pattern could continue. We could have a big pump, then go sideways. RSI is starting to fall away. Stochastic is starting to push down. Our money flow is starting to head down. Stochastic is pretty beat down. Our VWAP is rejecting that neutral. So our momentum's falling. It does keep trying to dip to the upside as our VWAP was trying to break to the bullish side. So that was trying to push momentum back up, but our VWAP is starting to favor the bearish territory here. If this continues, we will see this trend weaken, and we will likely see a roll over instead of a pump to the upside. Over on the 2 hour, we have a manipulation X here that wants to bring us down, and we have a bearish cross happening on these EMAs. If that bearish cross does confirm and we see a continued push down from here, this green EMA is going to start to curl over, which will start to curl the blue EMA, and they will start to head down toward these lower EMAs for a bearish rounding cross to bring price action back below all of these EMAs. RSI is overall heading out. Stochastic is coming back down. The money flows overall trending out. That VWAP is in the bearish territory. We did try to make a new high that really didn't take us much too significant movement. We are getting a manipulation X here, so I would see if we get further red candles. If we do, we could break this yellow EMA and then see a push to this red EMA where it would be the top of this previous channel. So overall, we do look pretty bearish here on the 2 hour. Over on the 1 hour, we are getting that round over through that yellow EMA that I said to watch out for on the 2 hour. If it continues on this 1 hour, it's going to lead into the higher time frames. RSI is overall heading out, stochastic is overall heading down. We have slight bearish divergence on the stochastic as price is relatively flat and stochastic is making lower highs. Our money flow is overall heading out. It is trying to bounce around that neutral, but our VWAP is starting to come back down. If this VWAP continues to come back down, that money flow will start to curl back over and we could see it break to the bearish side. If it does flip to the bearish side, that's likely where we'll see a pretty decent plunge to the downside. Over on Anchor for the daily, our green EMA is rounding here, so I would keep an eye on that. Stochastic is pushing and diverging pretty hard. RSI is rounding away. Our momentum has a double red dot and that's starting to round away as our VWAP has fallen into that bearish territory. And the money flow is struggling to make a higher high above this 12, so we could see that start to pull back on us. So overall, not too positive. We didn't get to that value area low here to try and make a retest. This could be as high as we go and we could see a pullback. However, keep in mind with these pullbacks, we do have those cup and handle possibilities. So if we get a push forward in the next day or two, if tomorrow we're flat and then the next day we push forward or the next couple days we push forward with staying flat, we could make that handle, make the cup and handle patterns and continue forward for the overall market. So keep that in mind as well. But if we do break this red EMA, we could invalidate that and see a push to the downside where we would fill those lower gaps. Our 4 hour does have that green EMA crossing under that blue EMA. We are heading down toward the yellow and trying to break through that. So our EMAs are starting to overall round. RSI is overall heading out. Our money flow is staying pretty consistent. We are heavy in the bullish territory with the money flow, so that is good. Stochastic's overall heading down. Our VWAP is projecting away from that neutral, and our momentum is falling into the bearish territory. If this VWAP sustains in this bearish territory, or it peaks in the bullish territory then snaps back, we could see continued bearish action and the money flow start to decline. I would keep a close eye on the lower time frames and see if the money flow is starting to round out on them. Over on the 2 hour, our stochastic is heading up. Our RSI is starting to head back down. So if our stochastic doesn't get some significant strength here, our RSI is likely going to fall. Our money flow is starting to round away and our VWAP is making a lower low. Is struggling to make a higher high, so I would watch for it to reject here. If that happens, we're likely going to see lower price action from this area. Our momentum is coming down. We do have a green dot though as our VWAP wants to go bullish, but again, it is a pretty weak break through to the bullish side right now. Over on the 1 hour, we are starting to slide away in a bit of a down channel. That is a bullish pattern that could help pump us up and help make that handle push forward. RSI is trying to go flat. Our stochastic's making lower highs as price makes lower highs, and we are starting to curl away. We do have a bit of a gap here around that 2188 zone here on the 1 hour, so it is possible we could come up, fill that gap yet, and then possibly see where the market goes from there. Our VWAP does want to fall to the bearish territory, which is weakening our momentum. Our momentum is at risk of pulling away here, and our VWAP is at risk of making a lower high. If it makes a lower low, we could have a bearish trend that would break any bullish possibilities. On XRP, we're very much like Anchor, where we have the handle that could form, so refer back to what I just said there on the daily. Stochastic is starting to pull back here. We are getting a bearish cross. RSI is starting to head down. Our momentum is starting to roll away with a red dot, and our money flow is favoring the bearish territory currently. That VWAP has slightly broken into the bearish territory as well, so if that VWAP pulls under and starts to get some momentum behind it, it's very likely we will see a push down and break these support zones. Over on the 4 hour, we have a manipulation X that wants to bring us down. RSI is overall sliding out. Our momentum's overall pushing down, making bearish divergence, and our stochastic's overall pushing down, making bearish divergence as well. Our VWAP is starting to favor that bearish territory, and the VWAP can't really get any significant highs. If this trend continues, it's very likely this manipulation X will start to bring us down in the next couple candles. Over on the 2 hour, we have a double manipulation X. Usually when you see these bring us down. We are starting with a red candle, so if we get continual red candles from here, that's likely where we'll see that play out. Our stochastic is heading down. We are trying to make a little bit of a bounce. Our RSI is overall starting to slip, as that stochastic is maintaining around just under that neutral. Our money flow is in the bullish territory, so that is good for us. And VWAP is slightly getting higher lows, but we're struggling to get higher highs. So even though we're not favoring the bearish territory, we're not getting as strong moves into the bullish territory, so the bearish territory may end up taking over. The momentum's overall pushing down with bearish divergence, so I would watch out for that as well. Over on the 1 hour, we are rejecting this red EMA. We're starting to see the blue and green EMAs start to curl here, so then our yellow EMA is likely going to curl as well. You can see how they are all starting to curl a bit. This is where we could see them start to fall below the higher EMAs, and our lower EMAs will end up back on the bottom, and we will end up back in a bear trend. Our stochastic is starting to head back down. Our RSI is starting to pull away. Money flow is struggling to maintain a decent bullish momentum, but it's still bullish. Our VWAP is struggling to get a newer highs. We are getting lower highs with lower lows, so we could have a bearish trend forming here that could break this channel and bring us back into that play. That's why we did not get rid of that pattern yet, because I just think this is a big manipulation pump. Our momentum does want to go forward, but if that VWAP rolls over, that momentum's going to struggle to do so. Real quick, if you haven't already, smash that like as we're almost done with the video for the night, as that goes the last one tonight. Tomorrow is Saturday, so we will do the meme coins. We are kind of zigzagging around. This may be some sort of double bottom, but we would need significant pushes back up. We did technically fall back into a bearish pattern. We did somewhat bounce off that point control for our volume profile, so that is a decent move for us. But if we see continued red candles, we're going to break to that value area low, and then we could see continual price action to the downside from there, as that would be a break of the pattern. Stochastic is starting to round away, RSI is starting to round away, our VWAP is starting to fall, momentum is starting to round away, and our money flow is starting to curl out and getting close to that neutral. Our money flow does want to break to the bearish territory with that VWAP, so I would keep close eye on the lower time frames. If they start to weaken, we could break bearish here. Over on the 4 hour, our RSI is overall trending out. Our money flow is pushing forward, so the money flow is doing pretty good. Our stochastic trying to get a little bit of a rebound, so it's trying to pick up some momentum, but our RSI is kind of slowing down and picking up some bearish strength, as that stochastic is in the bearish territory. Our VWAP is starting to favor the bearish territory, and we are rejecting a resistance, so that could be indicative of a move down. Our momentum is falling into the bearish territory, making a bearish divergence, so I would keep a close eye. Everything is looking pretty bearish. Don't know how many times I've said that in the last sentence. RSI is starting to slip, stochastic is starting to push, our money flow is starting to slip, that VWAP is in the bearish territory, starting to reject that neutral, and the momentum is in the bearish territory as well, so we're not doing too good here. Don't know if you caught the trend, but it's bear. RSI is starting to slip, stochastic starting to slip, money flow is starting to slip here, and that VWAP is getting lower highs. We are getting higher lows though, so we could try to pump back up. I would pay close attention to the next couple candles. If we start to set some red candles and reject these EMAs, we could see a push to the downside. Momentum does have a red dot, and that wants to fall, but that VWAP does look like it's in a spot where it could try to curl back up on us, especially with the money flow trying to pump. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.